Today's lesson is going to be on footwork. Footwork is very important for two things: keeping distance, speed, attacking, but also keeping balance at all times during your fighting. Two things, keep either for Buhurt or dueling. And there is different footwork between those two things, and I'll tell you why. I can't teach my footwork like I teach, I guess, combat shooting or anything like that, if you've done any type of shooting like that. So what you do is stand flat on, and if you had a sword, put your sword on your shoulder, and with that sword on your shoulder, you step that foot forward. Because in HMB armor fighting, it's very good of you to train with your sword leg forward. The reason that is, I've gone through this before, but I'll just rehash a little bit. The reason for that is because you're going to have that sword forward and you've got more reach to be able to score points. Because scoring points with your sword in a pro fight, or even if you're doing sword and shield, sword and buckler, it's much easier in a pro fight to score points with a sword instead of grappling. And in sword and shield, sword and buckler, I obviously got that distance to be able to pick that leg off and still have that guard up. So I'll go through how I set up my footwork, and then I'll go through maybe one drill or two drills that I do to help me with my footwork, even just like a warm up for your session. A bit of background: I did Olympic fencing, so foil, epee and sabre, for a big part of my life as my younger years. So that kind of comes into this a little bit. So it might help with you HEMA fighters and your duelists. So setting up your footwork, first thing I do is, it's my sword hand. Actually, I'll get a sword. Oh, I got my nice little scimitar here. Alright, my head might cut out of the screen because I want you to watch my footwork, but so how I set up my footwork is pippin. Anyway, start up, feet forward, sword comes in your shoulder, the sword side, that foot comes forward. So from here, what I want is my feet facing towards the enemy or the other opposition. They don't have to be on firm railway tracks like you do when you're wearing body armor. You can have a slight splay in the back foot, but you do want that front foot facing the enemy. You don't want them off to the side. The sword in the shoulder, slight bend in the knees. So you do want that slight bend in the knees for two reasons. Shock absorbing. So if you get hit, you can take a bit of shock back, a bit of resist, and that's why you slightly bend at the hips as well. So bend the knees, slight bend at the hips. So if you do get hit, boom, you got that little shock absorber. Also, if you're leaning forward a little bit, you can lean forward and throw a punch. If you're leaning back like this, firstly you're off balance, and secondly it's hard to throw an attack if you're back like that. So from the top, sword foot forward, bent knees, slight bend forward, shield up on your shoulder, other hand up if I could use it, up next to your eyes, just below your eyes so you can still see over using your shield. But we'll just focus on our footwork here. So now when we're in this position, we're going to come, if we're moving forward, our front foot moves first. So like I say, moving forward, the back leg's going to propel my front foot forward, and I'm going to step forward. And I like to do a kind of a fencing drill at the start for newer fighters, that when I come forward, it goes heel, my heel will touch the ground, and then when my toes touch the ground, that brings the back leg forward. That's not how you're supposed to fight, but it's a good way to train moving your legs together. Boom, boom, from the side, over here. So I move that foot forward, I'm moving that front leg foot forward, and then when my toes touch the ground, my back foot comes forward. It's very much like a fencing movement. From here I'm lunging, and I'm just coming forward like I'm fencing. But that's just the drill to get your footwork going. It's going to look like this. So I'm creeping forward, how that front foot's always coming forward first. So boom, moving forward, boom, boom. All right, so Mike runs out of battery. What a great time. We're moving backwards. So when we're moving backwards, we're still slightly leaning forward on the front leg to do that shock absorbing. But now moving backwards, my rear leg moves first. So it moves first and then my front leg. And the reason why my rear leg moves first is so I don't bring my feet together across my feet over. Reason for that is pretty obvious. If your feet are together, you've got poor balance and you're unable to really throw over any strikes with your feet together or any good strikes. So here we go again. As you see, I'm moving backwards. My rear leg is moving first and then my front foot follows. All right, so now we're going to be moving left and right. So if we're moving left, our left leg moves forward. As you can see, going left. So left leg, then my right leg follows. Left, right leg follows. Now we're going right. Who would have thought? Right leg moves first, right, left, right, left. And you can see I'm taking quite small steps. And the reason for that is so I don't cross over my feet. And the reason we don't want to cross over our feet is, well, balance. Really, balance is ball footwork. You can't really strike. And in Buhurt, someone's going to come and blindside you. And if you train to cross your feet, you're most likely going to do that when you're tired in a fight. And you want to avoid that at all costs. All right, we'll go over everything I just went through. So starting flat on, sword on shoulder, sword leg forward. Slight bend in the knees, slight bend in the hips, pushing forward as shock absorber. Sword up on your shoulder, shield to the side. Now, once you get in a shield position, some people train a high guard, some people train with a sword slightly out in front, but here we're focusing on our feet. So now we're going to move forward. What do we do when we move forward? Our front foot moves forward first. Forward, forward. Then we move backwards. Our rear leg moves backwards first. Back, back. Go on left, left leg. Boom, boom. Go on right, right leg. Boom, boom. Fantastic. So a little footwork drill that you can do with your club or by yourself, or anytime you want to warm up your footwork, or get the newbies into their footwork drill. You get some cones. One cone far right, one cone in the middle, one cone far left. Obviously you can have 20 cones, but this is all the room I have. So if you had 20 cones down there, it'd be the same exact drill for these 3 cones. Got the cone in front of me right here. What I'm doing is I'm using the proper footwork over to that cone. So forward, 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 and then I move directly back the way I came, back, 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 and then I'm going to my left, boom, 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 and then I'm going forward to the next cone, boom, boom, and I go directly back, boom, boom, left, boom, 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 forward, boom, 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 and now, boom, and now when I hit the last cone, I'm going to go back again, boom, 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 and I'm just going to reverse it. So instead of moving left, now I'm moving right. So I'm directly back from the last cone. I go right, boom, boom, forward, boom, back, boom, boom, right, boom, 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 boom. So essentially you're drawing an M. So forward, back, boom, 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 boom. And if you've got 20 cones, it's going to bang, 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 bang. If that makes sense. So you can do that. And then once you get really good at your footwork, you just speed it up. Forward, 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 back, 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 back. Back, 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 back. So yes, and you can do that for as long or as short as you want. It's a really good basic drill for footwork. And also you can get your heart rate up. Probably do that for 10 minutes to start. You're going to be quite fatigued. If you've got your steel weapons on, do it in armor. Good way for a warm up. Good warm up for armor. Because you're just moving back and forth. Just for your legs, your heart rate's up, you're getting a bit sweaty. And you're keeping your hands up. So you're keeping the shoulders quite conditioned. But yeah, pretty short, simple video. As my wings still bust, I really can't do too much. So please be patient with the content. If you have any other suggestions on what you want to see, please hit me up in the comments. And yeah, stay deadly, like and subscribe. I got some pretty cool videos coming this year. I'll give you a bit of a tasty, I guess a teaser. I'm going to be doing how good medieval armor is against zombies, and it's going to be pretty sweet. We're going to have live zombies and real armor. So, like and subscribe. Violence is like sex. If it's not consensual, it's not cool. So just remember that. Just remember that. And stay deadly at all costs.